皆さんこんにちは。Welcome to 英語ファイル。今回は久しぶりの英検1級語彙問題の対策動画です。で、気づいたらパート17でしたね。今回も頑張っていきましょう。さて、今回はですね、過去問で1回は答えになったことがあるけれども、最新のパス単には載っていない単語を5つ紹介します。で、まずは力試しをしていただきたいので、テストを受けてもらいます。で、終わった後に英語で解説をしていきます。では、頑張ってください。どうぞ。Okay, well done. So the first word was mosaic. So here's the sentence. Australia is a mosaic of diverse cultures. People from different backgrounds live together in harmony. Now, if your native language is Japanese, you've probably heard of this word before. And you know that it's related to covering up something that you don't want someone to see. For instance, like this. But its original meaning is a pattern or picture that is made by arranging small stones or glass, okay, like this, or this. Okay, now if you look carefully at this, it's actually made up of small squares, and that's why we call this a mosaic as well. Okay, now the Eiken test will probably use the word in a more metaphorical sense. Okay, so it'll mean something like a group of many different things that exist together. All right, so here's a picture of the example sentence. Now imagine that all of these flags represent people from different backgrounds, and they all fit together so they are living in harmony. Okay, so that sentence one more time. Australia is a mosaic of diverse cultures. People from different backgrounds live together in harmony. Mosaic means a group of many different things that exist together. Alright, so word number 2 is awry. Be careful of the pronunciation. It looks a bit like ori, but it's awry. Awry, awry. Here's the sentence. Our project was progressing smoothly, but suddenly everything went awry. We faced several problems that seemed impossible to overcome. So this word is almost always used with the word go. Okay, so we would say go awry, went awry, going awry. Okay? Now, go awry means to go wrong. Okay, so originally, awry meant twisted. So that means it's not straight. So if something is not straight but twisted, it kind of seems complicated. It seems like there's a problem. Okay? So here's a picture that illustrates the situation. Everything seems twisted, so nothing is going to plan, and the man is very frustrated. So that sentence one more time. Our project was progressing smoothly, but suddenly everything went awry. We faced several problems that seemed impossible to overcome. Awry means twisted, and go awry means go wrong. The third word is slur. Here's the sentence. The racial slur made by the manager was unacceptable. Not surprisingly, he was fired the following day. So slur means an unfair criticism. Okay, so it does have another meaning, but because this word was used to mean unfair criticism in the real Eiken test, let's focus on that definition only. Okay, now, if you've heard of the word slander, that could help you remember the meaning of slur, because they look similar and they have similar meanings. So slander means saying something that's not true in order to try and damage someone's reputation. Okay, so they're both negative words. Okay, so here's a picture of the situation. Okay, so one of them is the manager saying something very nasty to the other person. So here are the sentences one more time. The racial slur made by the manager was unacceptable. Not surprisingly, he was fired the following day. Slur means unfair criticism. The fourth word is snag. So here are the sentences. Video conferencing is convenient. The only snag is that the audio can sometimes be poor, but this problem can be solved by using high-quality microphones. So snag can mean an underwater tree that sticks out and gets in the way of things, okay, like this. But it also has a metaphorical meaning. Okay? It can mean an obstacle and therefore a problem or a difficulty. Okay, so here's the situation that was described in the sentence. So these people are having a video conference. The man is having a bit of trouble hearing what the person is saying. Okay, so that's a snag. But that snag can be overcome, okay, by using a good microphone. All right, so let me read those sentences one more time. Video conferencing is convenient. The only snag is that the audio can sometimes be poor, but this problem can be solved by using high-quality microphones. Snag is an obstacle, a problem, or a difficulty. The final word is curt. So here is the example. The student was disappointed when the teacher gave her a curt response to her question. She wanted a more detailed explanation. So curt means short and therefore seeming rude. Okay, so we use this word especially when we're talking about speaking and writing. So if you only use a few words when you're communicating, it can sometimes seem rude. So for instance, if you wanted to borrow someone's pen, you could say, "Can I borrow your pen?" which is quite short. Or you could say, "Excuse me, would it be okay if I used your pen? I forgot mine, so I'm really looking for something to write with." So did you notice how the longer something is, the more polite it kind of seems? Okay, so if something is short, if you only use a few words, it can sometimes seem a little rude. All right, so how can you remember the meaning of this word? Well, the word curt looks like cut, right? Okay, so imagine I've got something here. You've got something like a piece of string that is quite long, and you cut it, right? You've cut it short. Okay, so that's why cut and curt kind of mean short. All right, and also, if you are familiar with this word, curtail, okay, which looks similar to curt and also has a similar meaning, you might be able to connect those words together. Okay, so curtail also means to reduce or to cut short. Right? So all of these words, cut, curt, and curtail, have similar meanings. All right, so let's look at the situation given in the example sentence. The student is asking, "How can I improve my reading skills?" And the teacher says, "Read more." Very short, very curt. Okay, so maybe the student wanted to hear like what books she could read and how often she could read. More specific advice. But unfortunately for her, the teacher's response was quite curt. All right, so let's read one more time. The student was disappointed when the teacher gave her a curt response to her question. She wanted a more detailed explanation. Curt means short and seemingly rude. All right, so let's review the words for the day. The first word was mosaic, so try and remember what that meant before I say the definition. A group of many different things that exist together. Number two was awry or go awry. So go awry means go wrong, Okay, number 3 was slur. This means unfair criticism. Number 4, snag. It's a problem, difficulty, obstacle. And number 5, curt. Short and rude. Alright, so I hope that was helpful. Please look out for some more Eiken Grade 1 videos in the future. And if you're interested in seeing what the essay section is like, I've actually started a membership program, so if you look in the details below this video, you'll be able to find out more. Okay, so that's all for today. I'll see you in the next lesson.